At this hour, there are hundreds of thousands of people here in Tiananmen Square, perhaps as many as 500,000, even more. In the history of communist China, there has never been anything like this. For the first time in huge numbers, the ordinary men and women of Beijing, the old and the young, professors and taxi drivers, have joined the student protest.
The tanker, the Exxon Valdez, had just loaded more than 1 million barrels of Alaskan crude. It was about 25 miles from the Valdez terminal and was apparently trying to dodge ice flows from the nearby Columbia Glacier when it ran aground.
Day 10 of the oil spill crisis and the cleanup effort still just beginning. A few crews are on a few beaches removing a little bit of oil.
The end of the Berlin Wall is the symbol of the end of a divided Europe and the end of the Cold War.
Nobody could believe this was real. It was a miracle.
They were at the door shouting, "The wall is open." We walked through the wall.
The day the wall came down will be the most joyful days of my life.
Good evening. The retreat of Soviet military power from Afghanistan is complete. The last of Russia's regular army invasion force is out.
Almost a decade of Soviet bloodshed and battle ended 5 minutes ahead of schedule as the Soviet army completed its retreat.
Junior?
Yes, sir.
It is you, Junior. Sharing your adventures is an interesting experience.
It's not always shared. It's disgraceful. You're old enough to be her grandfather.
I'm as human as the next man.
I was the next man.
Hold on. Get those wonderful toys.
All we are is dust in the wind, dude.
Himes, ujan ano, plenkoniotos.
Ha! Ha! Under the sea, under the sea. Darling, it's better down where it's wetter. Take it from me.
Strange in your neighborhood, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters! If there's something weird and it don't look good, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
People say if you don't love America, then get the hell out. Well, I love America. We love the people of America very much, but when it comes to the government, it stops right there.
achievement. Here comes the siren. Here come the Flames. Champions. 1989. A Stanley Cup has been won by Calgary.
Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and it's time we're going to look at game number 20 in my 20 from 1989 series. Yep, welcome to my 1989 series. Well, the first game we're going to look at is a baseball game by Konami called Bottom of the Ninth, and this was certainly popular enough. I definitely saw this at all the arcades back then. Looking at it now, it's not really very impressive, but there wasn't really much in terms of baseball video games at the time. This has a joystick and 2 buttons that you use during gameplay. And those of you who hated having to dribble the ball with a button repeatedly pressing it in
Batter up.
What was the basketball game, Doulbe Dribble, in the arcades, you had to press a button repeatedly to be able to dribble the ball. And you have to do that in this game to run the bases. It's kind of lame. But I like some of the perspectives in this game. It's very cool looking.
Batter up.
It's basically just your typical 9-inning game, or extra innings if you're tied. But you have a kind of cool perspective that was generally pretty unique in terms of this perspective and good graphics. I mean, Bases Loaded kind of did the same thing, but the graphics weren't as good as this. You can get lift in your swing or swing low by pressing up or down on the joystick as you swing your bat. And you choose from 6 different teams. There's LA, Chicago, Houston, New York, Boston, or Atlanta. And you keep beating the teams until there's no teams left, and then you start them all over again. And we'll go ahead and get started. And here's me at bat. And like I said, you could press down or press up while you swing, and you can get lift or you can get more drive on the ball. You can also pull the bat a little bit by pressing left or right, and you can move your batter left or right.
It's an error.
Well, managed to get that between. Oops, I'm not going to make it there. Now, like I said, you have to whale on the A button to run the bases. And if you are approaching a base that you don't think you're going to be able to reach, you can press backwards on the joystick away from that base and press the B button to retreat. And you press A to swing the bat.
Batter up. Foul ball.
Now you want to learn to be able to pitch at least somewhat decent in this game.
Safe.
Because it's easier than you might think for the opponent batter to put the ball into the field where it's tough to reach. And it is a good idea to put a bunt down perfectly.
You're out.
Maybe work on your bunting skills, and B, while you're batting, lays a bunt. Try to place a bunt just perfectly, and you can really do a little bit better on offense than you might think.
Foul ball.
Now, with each credit that you put in, you will get 1.5 minutes of play time. If you manage to complete an inning fully, then you will get an extra 30 seconds added back on.
Strike.
If you run out of time, you will be prompted to put in more time, with another credit. And if you let your time run out, your game will end, and you get to put in your initials. And we'll look at that later on.
You're out.
Now, to pitch what you really want to do is hold down the B button, and then you can move the joystick, and you'll move the direction of where you're going to pitch, and there's another perfectly laid bunt.
Hey.
Very nice.
Batter up.
We'll scoot forward to me declining to continue. I'm not going to do a whole playthrough. There's no way. Here's me putting in my initials for having 3 ribbies, 7 hits, no home runs, really nice batting average, and a really nice ERA. I kind of like this game. Fielding can be a pain in the butt. If you are running towards the ball, you might need to wail on the A button to get to that spot faster. And we're going to look at a little bit of improved pitching here. Like I said, hold down the B button and you'll see your catcher kind of squat. And then you can move the joystick to move the location of where that pitch is going to be. And again, when you're in the outfield,
batter up.
After the opponent has hit, you'll need to wail on the button to get to the location of where that ball is going to be faster.
Batter up.
And you will see an arrow immediately appear over a certain base as you run to scoop the ball up. And you can move that arrow to a different base.
Strike.
In case there are multiple runners.
Strike 3. You're out. Batter up.
See, I wanted to show you my improved pitching skills. At first I didn't know what I was doing, but like I said, you hold down the B button and you can move where the location of the pitch is going to be, and then you press the A button to pitch there. As far as I can tell, you cannot bean batters. Or at least I have not been able to do it.
Strike.
Sometimes the batter, the opponent batter, will scoot towards the plate. And in that case, you might want to pitch closer to him.
Home run.
And there is what a home run looks like. Ta-da! Kind of cool for its time.
Batter up.
But we will scoot forward to me finishing off a game here.
Strike. Strike.
This just takes some practice, but you definitely want to be at least somewhat competent at pitching. And that's what it looks like to beat a team. And if you beat all the teams, then you start all the teams over. So we move on to another team. Just have to beat them all.
Batter up.
And there's a screenshot of all the teams having been beaten. And then you just start all the teams over after that. But that was bottom of the 9th. And there's a look at 2-player simultaneous play. You get split screen when one player's batting and the other is pitching. But that is bottom of the 9th by Konami, game number 20 in our 20 from 1989 series. Welcome to my 1989 series, and I hope you have a great weekend. Bye-bye, folks.